This is in no way my attempt to justify my comic book obsession. And this story, I really, really like. Artwork, the storytelling. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Pull List. My name is Travis. Let's talk about Doctor Who. Now, with all the talk this week about the next regeneration of the Doctor being played by a female, we kinda sorta forget that Peter Capaldi isn't actually gone yet. He still has the Christmas special. And that's an important thing to remember, that the next regeneration, we know her face, but this current Capaldi regeneration hasn't actually said bye yet. He still has his bit of a swan song. Which is why in this video I'm going to be covering the new issue of the 12th Doctor Adventures, Doctor Who issue 3.5. It's actually year 3 issue 5, but the way that they issue them with the different years actually makes a little more sense. So it's Doctor Who, 12th Doctor, year 3, issue 5, Doctor Who, 12th Doctor, 3.5. It rolls off the tongue a little better. And as you can see on the cover, this is also an adventure that involves his companion, Bill Potts. Now the reason I'm doing a video on his year 3 issue 5 or issue 3.5 is because this issue is actually a good jumping on point. It's the beginning of a 3-part story. The story is titled The Wolves of Winter, part 1 of 3. Just so you know, in this video I'm going to be talking in detail about everything that happens in the issue, so if you would like to read the story without being spoiled on any of the plot points, you should go do that and maybe click off of this video for right now. So in the beginning of the issue, the TARDIS decides to veer off course, as the Doctor states, and then when the Doctor and Bill exit the TARDIS, they find themselves in the 9th century in front of some Vikings. After checking out the TARDIS, the Vikings believe that this is actually Skidbladnir, the magical ship of the gods. And then the Doctor overhears a very interesting conversation between the Vikings where they're talking about recently fallen stars. See, right before the TARDIS landed, the Vikings were evading their enemies and trying to hide their treasure, but they witnessed 2 falling stars, 2 burning balls of light through the air, and one crashed into a mountain. Ragnvlad. Ingigor Ragnvlad, I probably butchered that Viking name, was essentially the Vikings' counselor. The counselor reasoned that the balls of fire in the sky were an omen from the gods, and they should not have stolen the treasure which they had. Upon hearing this, the Doctor decides that he should go investigate the situation, knowing full well that it is probably a spaceship of some sort. A woman named Cortal wants to come along on the expedition because her husband, Halfdan, was sent to go look at the star right before the TARDIS showed up. So Halfdan is already out there at the site of where the star fell, and Torkal wants her husband back. And while they're looking for the spaceship, there's a very Bill moment that happens. The Doctor's Sonic can't decide if the readings that he's getting are human or not. To which Bill replies, "It doesn't do wood, does it? The Sonic? So are the aliens wooden? Is it invasion of the log fires or terror of the dining tables?" And the Doctor, having none of her sass, responds with, "Remind me why I let you tag along," and Bill says, "You'd be bored without me." It's a humorous but rather sad exchange after what happened in recent episodes. Anyway, back to the comic. The Doctor decides that they should split up, gang, in order to cover more ground. Bill goes with one of the Vikings, Grimwald, and the Doctor goes with Torkal to look for her husband. On the far side of the mountain, Bill and Grimwald find a spaceship and humanoid creatures lurking in the shadows. They duck behind a rock formation, and Grimwald persists that he wants to fight the creature, but Bill said that there were loads of them, so they find a way to escape the situation. It cuts to the Doctor and Torkal finding markings on the wall. The Doctor hears mechanical noises down a cave, so he goes down the cave to investigate, where they come face to face with a group of Ice Warriors. The Ice Warriors recognize that the Doctor's Sonic is far too advanced for the indigenous population, humans. An Ice Warrior grabs the Doctor by the throat, says that he's on a very dangerous mission and that it would be very easy for him to snap the Doctor's neck. It's then that the Doctor, after hearing that this Ice Warrior is on a very dangerous mission, realizes that he recognizes the sonic readings from Mars. The Ice Warrior is surprised and asked, "How do you know of our world?" Which, let's come back to reality for a second. It's kind of very strange that the indigenous population of a planet calls their planet the same thing that we would call it. I always thought that if an advanced civilization showed up on Earth and was like, "Hey, we're taking over this planet," they wouldn't call it Earth. They would call it something else. Like how humans named every planet in our solar system, I'm sure other alien races don't call those planets by our names. Anyway, at the same time that this is happening with the Doctor, Bill and Grimwald go down through another cave area, and Bill comments on the sudden appearance of water. Grimwald thinks that it's melted ice from the mountain, but then something surprising happens. They find Torkal's husband, Halfdan, sort of wading in a big pool of water. Then it cuts back to the Doctor asking the Ice Warrior, "That's why you're here, isn't it? It escaped?" And we, as the reader, have no idea what threat the Doctor is talking about. We can assume that a reveal is going to happen with the Doctor knowing what the threat is, but at the same time, Bill is actually falling headfirst into the threat. The Doctor realizes what's going on the same time that someone is in danger from that thing. It's just like a normal Doctor Who episode. So as Bill and Grimwald approach Torkal's husband, Halfdan, that's a lot of Viking names all in one sentence, they're approaching him right as other Ice Warriors walk into the cave. And we don't actually find out the it that the Doctor is talking about. However, if you look at the Ice Warriors that are coming after Bill, they have cracked skin on their face, blackened teeth, and are emitting water from their mouths. Does that sound familiar? Because it should. The Waters of Mars. Mars, 2059, Bowie Base 1, last recorded message. Don't drink the water. Don't touch it. Not one drop. If you need a quick refresher course, The Waters of Mars was the 10th Doctor adventure that took place, well, on Mars. After landing, the Doctor realizes that the year is 2059 and he stumbles upon Bowie Base 1, the first human colonists on Mars. History stands to say the base was destroyed in an explosion, everyone died, fixed point in time. However, as the Doctor witnesses, a virus is uncovered in the water and infects the crew one by one by one. Cracked skin around the mouth, a flood of water coming out of their mouths. They're water zombies. The Doctor theorized that the Ice Warriors preserved and imprisoned the virus into a glacier to prevent it from spreading. The Waters of Mars happens on Mars in 2059, but this adventure happens on Earth in the 9th century, which is between 801 to 900 AD. So it's the Doctor's future after the Waters of Mars, but the time is before the Waters of Mars, so maybe this is before the Ice Warriors were able to successfully seal the virus into a glacier. But with the virus loose on Earth and without a nuclear device, which is what they used in Waters of Mars to save the day and eliminate the virus, it's curious as to how the Doctor will save the day. Also, I was totally not expecting the twist of involving the Ice Warriors with the Waters of Mars, even though it makes perfect sense. It took me a minute. I turned to the last page and I saw the Ice Warrior with the cracked mask and I was like, oh, I said in the beginning of the video that 12 isn't gone yet, but the great thing about these comics is that adventures can be written for any Doctor, regardless of who's playing the Doctor on the screen. There are new comics for Doctor number 9 and even Doctor number 8. So what do you think? Should I cover more of the ongoing Doctor Who comics? This issue came out about 2 weeks ago, so the next issue, Part 2, should be coming out pretty soon. So I thought since I posted a video on Sunday, I would take Friday off and post a video Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I decided yesterday was my day off, so I'm going to be posting a video today, Thursday, and Friday to round off the week. Anyway, that's it for this episode of The Pull List. My name is Travis. Thank you for fueling my comic book obsession, and you will see me tomorrow.